there's trouble in paradise today. At Kruger National Park, the ESPU Anti-Poaching Unit got the word from an informant that heavily armed poachers are sneaking across the border from Mozambique to hunt rhino. The mission of the ESPU is to stop the poachers before they kill the rhinos. This easily breached fence stretches for miles along the Mozambique border. Sergeant Yaku Kokomur and his translator question the informant. Inspector Bez Bezettenhout, in charge of the operation, is joined by Park Ranger Frikkie Rousseau. The reliability of this Mozambican informant is critical to the success of the operation, and he has a solid track record according to the ESPU. The majority of poachers in Kruger National Park come from Mozambique, recently ravaged by civil war. Abject poverty seems to drive some Mozambicans to poach. Weapons once used to kill people are now used to slaughter endangered animals. If a poacher sells an illegal rhino horn in South Africa, he could make $8,000. The ESPU agents return to their Kruger campsite to discuss strategy. Because of the length of the border, they've called in heavy reinforcements from the Parks Board and the South African Army. They discuss footprints that indicate where the poachers may have recently entered the park. Tomorrow, the ESPU will meet the informant again and start their stakeout. The agents set up camp in the park to get an early start. Sergeant Alex de Boer and Yaku test the tracking system they will use to locate the poachers. At night, in the dense bush, it would be much more difficult for the ESPU to locate the poachers without this tracking device. Its 13-mile range covers all the most likely points of entry. Meanwhile, the South African Army also prepares for tonight's stakeout.
I don't know where is it.
Kyk, daai informer dra nie wapen nie.
Vir die nag, wees net stil. As jy praat, fluister maar.
In a second meeting with the informant, Bez and Yaku confirm that the poachers are poised to enter the park tonight.
Dit was 'n definitiewe spoor ook daar waar hy deurgekom het, daai sakkie.
Duidelik vir hom.
They brief the informant on his mission. To earn his money, he must accompany the poachers and carry this bag when he's with them. The bag contains a firefly, which emits a blinking infrared light seen only through night vision goggles. This way they can spot the poachers and recognize the informant in the event of gunfire. The bag also holds the microtransmitter for the tracking system. Agents go over the final plans.
As ons nou ry, dan gaan ons die opiepunte. Kyk ons uit die opiepunte wat ons het.
Ja, lekker strategiese plek.
En ek glo dan om ook van die weermag mense dalk te gebruik, weet as hulle nou verder begin inlei, dan op hierdie gedeelte hierso.
Nou misschien.
Inspector Gerald Boucher installs one of 3 well-hidden antennae for the communication system.
Tango 30.
0.
Dis kom ons met Tango 1.
Repeater is op hoor.
Then the ESPU gives the South African Army its position for the stakeout.
Sierra 4 en Tango 4.
Info, can I come on?
And they waste no time getting there and setting up. They camouflage their vehicles and equipment to avoid detection by the poachers. The agents and soldiers hunker down and wait. The stakeout continues on through the night. There's no way to know exactly when or where the poachers will enter. By morning, Yaku, Bez, and Gerald wonder if the poachers got wind of the stakeout. As the agents are leaving, they spot vultures circling above. They track down a carcass. It's a young elephant. They find bullet holes, but the wounds indicate that the shooting is a week old. Park Ranger Frikkie Rousseau searches for bullets with a metal detector.
The piece of grass that we've put through here, through these two holes, would indicate that the elephant has been shot, maybe, with a AK or something, and that is the route the bullet took, from coming in from here, going out there.
Apparently the bullets missed all vital parts, so it was not immediately fatal. The tusks are still intact. The ESPU hypothesis? The elephant was shot in Mozambique, then crossed the border. But police presence deterred the poachers from following the elephant. Park rangers have an odious task: to remove the tusks so poachers won't steal the valuable prize. Ballistics corroborate Alex's examination. The bullets were fired by an AK-47, a commonly used weapon in the Mozambican Civil War. 2 weeks later, the informant gets back in touch with the ESPU. He tells them the hunt was called off that night because one of the poachers' wives went into labor. But the planning, coordinating, and execution of this operation were not in vain. Even though this time the ESPU's efforts did not lead to an arrest, next time they will be ready.